Boats are made for transferring commodities back and forth, and those that come across Liyue tend to stay a while. So it is where many things come to settle.
This is the largest one we've seen so far.
The Fatui! They're attacking the Glacial Ballista!
Let's see. Will the nation that has lost its deity be swallowed up by an ancient malice once more?
Farewell, old friend.
I am the least adept with the bow, and that is precisely why I must master it. Shouldn't let your guard down!
Nothing can be accomplished without rules or standards.
Think you can bully me?
Pyrotechnics! Oh yeah, rock on!
D, Luke! Oh, I can't stand him. Diana Special!
Hey everyone, I'm Rune from the MetaMaster team, and today we are going to be taking an in-depth look at what to expect in patch 1.1 coming to Genshin Impact on November 11th. Diving in, let's cover our first big topic of the patch. Characters. There are 4 characters coming in Genshin Impact in patch 1.1, however there are no official dates for their release as of yet. First up, we have Zhongli, a 5-star character who uses the polearm as his weapon of choice. Zhongli looks to be a very interesting character, blending the natural resilience of the Geo element with new flashy abilities. His normal attacks follow a different animation pattern than we've seen before with Zhangling's polearm attacks, where he stabs his polearm into the ground before kicking it back out, causing it to spin. His charged attack teleports him forward as energy spears rain in his path. And for his elemental skill, he summons a Geo Monolith at a designated location, which does Geo damage in what appears to be a square area of effect. You can even hold his ability to cause a burst around him, destroying Geo element objects such as shields or ores immediately, which is nice for all those resource farmers out there. His elemental burst brings down a meteor. That's right, a meteor, dealing large amounts of geo damage in an area and apply a new debuff to enemies called Petrified. Petrified enemies are unable to move and take extra geo and physical damage. Finally, his abilities scale with max HP, and his passive talent will return 15% of the ores used to craft polearms. Next up, we have Tartaglia, better known as Child, or Childe, depending on how you like to say his name, expected to arrive on or around November 11th as the first character event banner after the update. Shaping up to be what we consider a fearsome Hydro DPS unit, Tartaglia sometimes uses the bow as his weapon of choice, which follows the standard normal and charged attack patterns. The meat of his combat, however, comes in the form of his elemental skill, where you can swap to dual water knives or a water polearm, allowing you to switch between either of these normal attacks at will. That's not all. Tartaglia features 2 different elemental bursts. When he has his bow out, his burst fires a water shot which inflicts a special debuff on enemies, and automatically refunds you some elemental energy. This combos with his second elemental burst, a melee version in which Tartaglia launches a large slice that consumes the previous elemental burst debuff to deal more damage than usual. Finally, his passive talent increases the normal and charged attack talent of everyone in the party by 1 level. In addition to these characters coming in 1.1, 2 4-star characters are also arriving. Whether these characters will debut in the character banner or will simply just be added to the standard banner is currently unknown. Chinyan is a pyromaniac, claymore-wielding rock star that hails from Liyue. She follows the standard normal and charged attack patterns, and her elemental skill swings her guitar around, giving her an overshield that grows stronger with the more enemies she hits, as well as scaling with her defense. Guess we finally have a use for all those defense roll artifacts that we've been getting. Her elemental burst creates a sound shockwave around her as she plays her instrument, knocking enemies back and setting the ground ablaze. Her passive talent gives her a 12% chance to gain double results from cooking defense-boosting food. Daughter of Giraffe from Springvale and experienced waitress at Cat's Tail in Mondstadt, Diana is a catty cryo character that uses a bow. She follows the standard normal charged attack patterns, and her current elemental skill creates a unique cat ear cryo shield. Finally, her elemental burst tosses a Molotov-like iced drink into the field, which both damages enemies and heals your team and nearby allies within the area of effect it creates. Unfortunately, no passive talent has been found at this time. And as for the order of upcoming character banners, we will not speculate in this video, but we advise players to expect Tartaglia early on in patch 1.1's lifecycle, as well as invite anyone not already in our Discord server to come and join us to speculate and theorize there. Moving on to the next topic at hand, let's talk a bit about what to expect regarding story content. In patch 1.1, Act 3 of the Liyue Archon quest is expected to wrap up, and here are some teasers we found regarding some of the content to expect. Warning, there are story spoilers ahead, so skip to the time on screen to avoid them now.
I'd say that Ningguang's purpose is to request that the savior of Mondstadt take a more neutral stance, or at least to not wholly side with the Adepti.
This palace floats in the skies, higher than the peak of any mountain. From this vantage point, one may survey all of Liyue. One day, I believe it will overshadow all 7 nations.
It's said that she's the one behind the constant expansion of the Jade Chamber. It's the second most important thing to her. Even if she ever gave up the position of Tianquan, she would never give up the Jade Chamber.
As a mortal, I've never dared to imagine a Liyue without Rex Lapis. But as an Adeptus, I think I will eventually come to grips with reality. Since Rex Lapis has passed, the time of Liyue's contract with the gods and Adepti has now reached its end.
Until one drizzly day, as I was strolling along the harbor, I heard a merchant tell one of his workers, "You finished your duties. Go ahead and call it a day." I stood motionless among the crowds, asking myself, have I already finished my duties?
The Liyue Qixing always repay their debts. And as you have heard, our eyes see far and our reach is long. Name your price. You deserve that much.
You've already fulfilled your task as guides, so why do you still linger here? Haven't you already seen enough trouble for today? As such, we must now look to our backup plan. I will awaken the god that lies dormant beneath Guyun's stone forest.
Capping off this part of the storyline, a new boss fight is also expected to arrive. This fight takes place in a new area of the map, and will also become a trounce domain after the Archon quest concludes. Here's a first look at who the next big bad will be.
This is going to cost you!
There are also a couple of events planned for patch 1.1 with various rewards. Firstly, for the Gordon Ramsays out there, a food delivery event is coming. Some shiny Primo gems can be earned, with each specific item also having its own reward. Upon completing a set of 3 deliveries, you are then given a set of new ones, but it is currently not known how many there will be in total. Next, for all 3 of you Amber mains out there, a gliding event is expected to come. There are 7 racetracks to complete, where you are scored on both completion time and token collecting along the track. Tokens collected will award additional score points, and bronze, silver, and gold medal scores all give separate rewards. For the last of the currently known events in 1.1, and what appears to be the keystone event of this patch, the Unreconciled Stars event will be held. This 3-stage event gives us a look into the story and background of both Mona and Fischl, but the details of the specific content of this event is currently not known. You can expect to earn a new shard item to be used in a limited time event shop, and this screenshot is a sample of the rewards that can be purchased. And elemental crystals can also be earned for character ascension, as well as a free Fischl for players who haven't either yet pulled her or maxed her constellations out. Next up, some new items are also making their way into the game in patch 1.1. It appears that we will be getting a new set of 5-star weapons. These new weapons cover all 5 types of weapons currently available in the game, 3 of which are pictured in this screenshot. All 5 of these weapons seem to share the same ability, with the ability of this catalyst reading: increases shield strength by 20% for 8 seconds after landing a hit, increase attack by 4%. Max 5 stacks, this effect can only occur once every 0.3 seconds. In addition, when protected by a shield, increase the above attack buff effect by 100%. Seeing that these weapons appear to share a similar Geo-style design, we expect these weapons to be the next iteration of the Skyward set that launched with the game. Whether or not these weapons will immediately be featured in the first weapon banner of patch 1.1 is currently unknown, but we also expect these to release alongside Zhongli whenever he comes, and advise players to plan accordingly. Next, a portable waypoint item is coming to the game as a new feature. This item can be placed in most locations across the world of Tevat, and will create a new teleport waypoint on the map wherever the item is placed. It appears that this item will have a 7-day weekly timer, after which it will fade, requiring a new one to either be bought, replaced, and or recharged. Beyond this, the specifics of this item are unknown at this time. A new item, Condensed Resin, is also coming in 1.1. This new item will require what appears to be 1 crystal core found from catching crystal flies in the world, as well as at least 40 resin. In this picture, it is shown that 2 crystal cores and 80 resin is required, but it is not confirmed whether this is the minimum requirement, or if it is simply an output shown of a player who chose to make 2 condensed resin at one time. At the moment, it appears this feature is intended for players that may not have the time or desire to play on a certain day, allowing them to store that resin for later use. However, it is also apparent that you can now spend this condensed form of 40 resin within domains to get double the rewards, meaning you will only need to do 4 runs of a domain to use all of your resin up, rather than clearing that domain 8 whole times. For players out in the wild exploring, a new quality of lifestyle item is also coming, the Windcatcher. This item allows you to store the anima wisp that you can find in certain areas, giving you a portable updraft of wind wherever you may need it. Sorry Venti mains, your skill is no longer as flashy as it used to be. An amazing and solid item for beginner and veteran players alike, the Nutrition Ready to Eat, or NRE, is also coming. This item will be active on your UI during gameplay and allows you to select 2 food items to have up and available during combat, eliminating the need to pause the game and enter the menu when in dire need of healing. This bag will even auto-refill itself with the same food item until you run out of that specific dish. To add to this, a portable stove is also joining the game, which allows you to bring a cooking stand along with you wherever you go. It appears that this item is a one-time use style item and will also be destroyed if combat is entered nearby. For new and early game players, regional resonance stones and treasure compasses are 2 new items you should look out for. Resonance stones let you track down oculi within the world, while treasure compasses help you track down chests. It is not known how these items will exactly work beyond their basic descriptions, so it is not confirmed whether or not these items will work forever or long term, except for of course when new regions are added and the new versions of these items released to accompany them. Some new features and quality of life changes are also coming in 1.1, the biggest of these being a brand new reputation system. Each region will now have its own reputation level, each with its own special rewards. Your reputation level increases as you explore, complete side quests in a region, and do the new bounties and requests. For bounties, it appears that different characters will encounter enemies in the wild and report them to you for hunting in a specific area, and requests will entail doing certain tasks for citizens across the region. Both of these activities will integrate into the daily aspects of the game as well. Beyond this, it appears that to help track the exploration of your map, there will also be completion percentages per area of the map. By increasing your reputation, you can expect to earn and unlock various features and benefits, profile cards, new cooking recipes, new blacksmithing and alchemy recipes for brand new items coming this update, and even more interesting and unique items beyond these. For quality of life changes, here are a few things to expect. The resin cap will be increased to 160 from 120. This change won't generate resin faster, but will allow players who can only log on once a day to do 2 more domains or an additional world boss each day. The weekly resin mission on the battle pass will be decreased from 1600 to 1200 resin needing to be spent within that week's period. This should alleviate the demand and requirement for players to have to refresh resin with rare items or primo gems each week. A keybind controller remapping feature is planned for release, but is not concrete and may be pushed back if needed. Artifacts can now be filtered by attribute. Equipped gear will now display a small character icon indicating that gear is in use, rather than requiring players to inspect the item to figure out that information. You can now lock both weapons and artifacts, preventing you from accidentally destroying or consuming them. A compendium will be added, allowing you to view info on flora and fauna within Teyvat. The camera will gain a lock setting, which will prevent it from automatically zooming or rotating itself during gameplay. For weapon leveling, excess XP overflow will now be transformed into ore if possible, rather than completely being wasted as it currently is. For expeditions, characters on expeditions can now be used in a party during their expedition. This will allow players to take advantage of the passives of certain characters that they may be using on the active or exploration teams. Well, that about covers it. We hope that this in-depth look into what's coming in patch 1.1 helped set your expectations better and got you excited for what's to come in Genshin Impact. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe for more quality content. In addition, our Discord has been picking up steam as of late, and we're open arms to any new members joining our ranks. If you are interested in joining, you can find the link down below in the description, as well as our other social media handles. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you around Teyvat.